Hello, Songville. Good morning. Thank you for that throwback in chat speak. Well, we are here. We're playing WoW. Oh, I didn't do this, so it didn't load quickly. My bad. Let's see. What am I forgetting? I am glad that my specific marketing to the one person who will show up regardless of what it is working! Songville says that the title of the stream today is perfectly tailored to amuse her. I have felt like it's been a long time since we did WoWing today. My chat isn't pinned, so I can't see it anymore. I feel like it's been a long time since we did WoWensday. I don't even know if Entrin existed the last time I did WoWensday. Who is my new level-capped Demon Hunter. My two favorite characters now are Demon Hunters, but they can't be spec'd the same thing because I am a very strong roleplay character, and neither of these two people seem very willing to be of the magical persuasion the other one is. I think actually Entrin was not like a demon hunter before who picked up void magic, because I feel like void elf demon hunters conceivably also could have just been like blood elf demon hunters who decided to go hard on void and just ended up warped as a result. Like all demon hunters, certainly Thalassian demon hunters who go a devourer, I feel like just become void elves by default. That just makes sense to me. But anyway, I think he was a rogue, basically. Songvale agrees that if you are a Thalassian demon hunter and you spec devourer, you just become a void elf, and that's how it is. That must be awkward for the Fellstrider enclave in Silvermoon right now. The non-Illidari demon hunters. Like, I wonder if they had to get together and have like a union meeting and be like, hey, so you all can make your own choices, but your choices will have consequences. Songville says they had to put up a new sign. If yes tentacles, no service. Then edits to, or rather, yes tentacles equals no service. Fair enough. Easy to understand, easy to remember. Temerive, Songville's roleplay character, could have had a new fear unlocked back in the day that somebody somehow would interpret Syed tail as a tentacle, just growing out of an unusual location. Alright, I gotta go into edit mode here for a second. I don't think I have one. Controller. Wonder what I was doing there. I guess I was just trying to set it up. But I gotta move my chat frame a little bit so that I can see my Twitch chat. You guys still can't see any of it. Yeah, I'm sure there are plenty of Syed tails in the building. I just can see Temerive in particular struggling with stupid fear. At least back in a certain era. I don't remember if you've said that like he's thoroughly won at this point. Well, that's still good for him that he's able to just ignore it now. Songville does say that Temerive fails to appreciate his tail. Anyway, so my thought is at least doing what I assume will be fairly fast queues, although it is 2 minutes this morning, for a tank and a healer into the holiday boss. And then I guess seeing how bad the queue is for DPS. I can't tell if I think a 2-minute queue for a tank means that like the DPS queue is going to be horrendous, or if that means actually... It seems like it would mean... Unless there's just no one queuing for it. It seems to me like it would mean that there's a good mix. Like, there's not tons and tons and tons of DPS waiting. But I do wish this filled more accurately so that I could see, like, oh, what we're waiting on is healers. Because, like, right now, apparently we're waiting on literally everyone, and I just feel like that's not true. Songville says it seems like it would mean there was either no queuing people or that there are a fair number of tanks. Yeah. Which, you know, I can tell when I go on, like, Entrin or anybody else that, like, I have gotten so used to, like, tank queue is instant. I have no idea how, like, back during Wrath, when I was playing Hunter, like, basically exclusively, I would sit in, like, 2-hour queues. And I didn't even, like, need the gear. Just running heroics was what I wanted to do. Just for the content. Songwell says that if it still shown no group mates in 5 minutes, then it was a bad sign. But it has popped now, and we are able to get in there. Songville says she once spent 45 minutes in a DPS queue and then accidentally hit decline. Oh my gosh, did you just log out after that? I would have screamed, probably. That sounds brutal. Songville says, no, I got back in the queue because the thing I was supposed to be doing was homework. Hey, there you go. Maybe your subconscious was trying to help you make sure you finished the thing. Didn't want to be doing that homework, but you needed to. Oh my gosh! There is a Volpera named Woodle! A doorbell! Yeah, a doorbell. You can spell. You know, I noticed when I was reading Elf Gossip that you were not, like, saving us from the shame of typos. We are currently archiving some roleplay that we did in the wake of the Discord situation. But I have been fixing, like, obvious typos. Voodoo waved goodbye at us. But the funniest one I found was I had misspelled the word misspell. Which, in fairness, I feel like the way I spelt it looks more correct. So I don't know, maybe that's one of those words that actually can be spelt multiple ways. And Google Docs just disagrees, I'm not sure. But I changed it in Google Docs. Sungo says, I think the reason I can't play Volpera is because I keep trying to create them as serious people, but then only ever caring about how cute they are. I feel like that seems like it could be an experience. Do you think Thalavi is a roleplay guild for demon hunters? I guess this isn't necessarily like a big RP mod because it does look like it's a set that already existed, but this guy truly looks like a just classic night elf demon hunter look. Dogwell said she could be fixing obvious typos, but she figured she would do editing when everything was safe. Yeah, that's fair. The lobby does, yeah. On the one hand, I got quiet because I'm thinking about the fact that, like, I'm not reading all of your messages out loud, and I want them to be part of the VOD record. As if I'm actually gonna come back someday and watch, like, however much 4 hours per week has amounted to at that point. But at the same time, like, even like spam messages, I don't want those like embedded in the VOD. Oh well, we will just have to enjoy it while it's here. Kelendriel. This feels like... It even looks like a character you could have. Is this secretly you? Do you have alts on Feathermoon, Songvale? I did, but... like... I don't like it that way. This name feels like that. Somebody said that my Mog is amazing. I do feel like it is a pretty unique look. I found this like during BFA and I don't think I have ever changed it. I've looked at other Mogs for her, but I like this one. One thing that I kind of want to do is I have kind of been trying to think about like where different characters of mine would hang out. So rather than just being like, the place to hang out is Dornegal because that's the hub city, like, that might make sense on the character that I'm honestly doing like active content on. But for characters that it's like I do some stuff on, but I'm happy to like take the time to log in and out from a place that's appropriate for them, like where should I put them? For a couple of my characters, it's easy, like the answer is Silvermoon City. But some of them I'm like, I'm not sure. Particularly as, like, Undercity, etc. is gone these days, or Brill's gone these days. Oh, frick. I just decided to go and start the fight. Luckily, they were ready. This character has really cool movements. Like, it's just fun to watch her do druidry. Truly. Songvale says, soon Silvermoon City will be content relevant. Indeed it will. And that she also really likes the Zandalari model. Yeah, I have tried a couple of times to make Zandalari Paladin. But I very strongly do not like the faces available for the males. I guess I could make a female Zandalari Paladin. One thing with the Warband breakdown is like I can't move these love tokens like to other characters without the Warband bank, so hopefully they bring that back soon. Yeah, Songo says that does seem like an obvious alternative to just roll a female one, and for some reason I don't know why that feels like a new idea to me. I guess maybe I always get inspired to do it by, like, seeing the way the males, like, the animation set, like, they move. Because in-game, the reality of it is that, like, I'm not usually really looking at, like, other people's faces. But I do see the face all the time on the character select screen. I guess I could just perpetually have the character in a mask. It wouldn't be the first time that I did that. Is it still down? That's wretched. I don't know. It was down yesterday. I was able to take the tokens that I had in the bank out on Runeface, so I grabbed them and pulled them out. I did notice that, like, all of my... Oh, it's back. Okay. So all of these, like, new pre-patch armor items were missing yesterday. But they are back now. So that's good. It does seem to be back, so I guess I can now collect those off of all my characters. Thongo says, I want to use the Zandalari model to make an Amani druid with whom Eledris is frenemies, but I would probably never actually play her. Maybe that's what this morning's update was. You're right. Maybe they were like, alright, it's Wednesday. This broke on Sunday. We gotta fix it now. Hydration alert. I got water. ready just for you. Do you know why they're frenemies rather than enemies? I'll develop your character for you. It's because in almost all metrics, they are in fact enemies, except for the fact that, this individual is able to turn into a bird. So Aledris is really trying to convince himself that someday they will be friends, and this person will teach him to turn into a bird. He really wants to be friends with this person and learn to be a bird. He can connect with Verchia over wanting to be friends with someone who does things that are really cool. I know this queue is going to be long, so I'm not sure why I'm spending time managing my inventory before I get in the queue. I think it's because of that tank mindset where I'm like, I have to be ready when I hit the Q button because I'm going to get in right away. But like, it's gonna— oh, 4 minutes. Actually, it's not bad this morning. Okay, great. This belt, by the way, I have 2 of them. One of them is for you. But I have to— and also this chest is for you, but I'll have to meet up with you on— I guess I could have traded it to you on an Alliance character. I'll pull it out on a Horde character or whoever I'm on when you're on.
See you around.
The dungeon queue is usually not terrible, but 2 nights ago, I think, when I was doing it for DPS, it was like 15 minutes. Like 15 to 20 plus minutes. Longville asked, should she sketch wugs during stream or try to do WoW character art? I think you should start with a wug to warm up. And also get that sense of, yeah, I produce things I and other people enjoy. And then, if you're still feeling like drawing for character art, you can do that after. I did go and read some more recent Bloodvale residents when they seem to have moved back to Quel'Danas, but not Leywarden Hall. Which I can't remember if that's a canonical thing or if we were gonna like redo the canon such that like none of the roleplay that resulted from them being in Silvermoon was real. I don't remember. But it's in Quel'Danas now. And it does seem like people have tried to be sociable and friendly again within that trio of like, well, quartet of like Runethay, Vindriel, Temerive, and then also like Kalarian is in there. This joke won't make sense to you because you don't play Pokemon, but there used to kind of be this tradition in Pokemon that you'd have like a duo or a trio that was like in conflict, like of legendary Pokemon, and then there would be some kind of like oversight or mediator. Like in lore, you would just have the sense that there was one or it had been depicted that way. And I'm just thinking of like Temerive, Vindriel, and Runethay all kind of being like a trio, and then like the lord of the 3 of them that mediates and keeps them in line is Kalarian. Songwell says they lived temporarily in Silvermoon until a new place in Quel'Danas was acquired. Okay. That makes sense. And still works with canon. I'm gonna keep reading. Part of it's like, this doesn't feel like it. It feels like it happened too fast and we missed a bunch of stuff. But also, I realized that, like, it's gonna feel that way because I'm rereading stuff from, like, basically 2021, barely into 2022 at this point, and then jumping ahead and reading stuff from like 2024. So like I did miss a couple of years, and maybe it will feel like, oh no, that all makes sense. I came up with another Runethe angst thing while reading that though last night, and that was that like Runethe had partially gone to the Dragon Isles to look for supplies for Kalarian, because there had been a lot of rumors that like the dragons had even more advanced magical component technologies for like lenses and metallics and stuff like that. But then he is told that he should stay there longer because of the Leylight plague going on. And then he seems to kind of travel around and just enjoy himself in the Dragon Isles. And during that, he ends up sort of naturally shedding a lot of fell taint and comes back much less so. Which is kind of weird because they didn't actually do like a lot of defelling process. He didn't have to bring back the materials after all. But I was thinking like one piece of angst could be like that. Also could be a particular Dragon Isles something thing that reverts a little bit. Or maybe it will... Yeah, it popped. Maybe it will be the case that it was the result of like me or you trying to force Runethe to like just be fine and moving him forward. I don't know. I will keep reading and I will let you know. Or you can let me know if you've been like, well, I always felt like this was weird, but you really wanted to play it. Okay, I'm gonna remember this time. I'm not gonna start the fight. I think the rogue clicked, but that's alright, it wasn't me. Oh, it's the Valkyr model. I was like, what are those animations? Yeah, I feel like we should work it out and try not to have a fight about Runethe. I have to admit, I think Devour is pretty cool. At low levels, I was like, no, I don't like this. But once I actually, you know, got all of my spells and the rotation was, like, timed correctly, I do like this. There won't be anything exciting happening on stream as regards me getting... Well, I guess I could get the Love Rocket, which I don't really care about. But, I got both of the new mounts. Like, I got one on the first day and one on the second day. Like, it was literally my first run of the day both times. So, who has a Valkyr? There was a Death Knight in there, so that might have been part of their Death Knight abilities. Songville says, I feel like, or she says she feels like she could see the ordering energy of the Dragon Isles being particularly prone to pushing Fel out. Yeah, I also thought, like, if he was in, which I feel like he was, the area that was very attuned to the Ruby flight, like the Red Dragon flight, that could have helped as well. And also, I don't know, like, really just pushed the nature magic side of things forward. I think another thing I'm thinking about is, like, trying to feel what's true, but also trying to decide how much, like, if I have strong feelings about it, like, what changes and goes back in a more elf direction, because it was really just mutation that caused a certain level of proportion or warping, and like what is like, no, you're kind of a bat anthro furry now. Sorry about that. Especially as regards like his skull, like his face. And I feel like the advantage talking to Kalarian was that Kalarian felt that they would get to have at least some influence after removing Fel, so just removing Demon, like whether we were supplementing Elven quality in its place or if we were doing Flute Bat. And I feel like just letting... I was gonna say just let it... I don't know. I'll try to finish a sentence. I just feel like letting it happen on its own didn't give them that chance. But at the same time, elves happened because trolls were influenced by a titan, potentially. So maybe it would have favored the elf, but I mean, I don't necessarily know that, like, wherever flute bats were from, that they weren't overly compatible with the titans ordering either. I'm not sure. Yeah, Devourer is, I would say, like, it got way better in the second half, and then, like, the last tiny bit, when really the timing for Metamorphosis and Star Crash started to become possible at all, it got a lot better. I just want to, like, do the boss again on this character, because I like playing him, but we will not get tokens, and we're here to get tokens.
For the Alliance.
So... we'll log around and go get more tokens. There's, like, a bunch of cosmetic things that I want. The one thing I have to look at is when does this holiday end? Because this is one of the holidays where, like, they delete your tokens at the end. So, if I don't spend them, I also can't keep them until next year. So all of this will just be for nothing. When does this holiday end? Okay, it ends next Monday. But, yeah. I guess I just also want to put out there, and he's my character, and there's been a lot of drama around him, and so he's kind of just an uncomfortable topic. But if you have any input on what you think is interesting, or not interesting, or legitimate, or not legitimate, or think Kalarian has opinions or thoughts on it, etc., please let me know. I feel like, honestly, thinking about it, the fact that, like, he's my content character, and in 2 weeks, like, the forest of Quel'Thalas, like, will be content. I feel like it could be his time to come back and be charming. Especially if he... you know, isn't pushed into a place where he needs to be, like, super verbal conversational. Although I will say the roleplay I was reading where he and Temeriv and Vindriel were talking, or he and Vindriel were talking, that was fine. Like, I feel like there wasn't a super distinctive Runethay-ness to it, but it didn't feel unreal. It was just, like, not super his moment to shine. But you know what? Do you know what I mean? Where it's like Duskharbour isn't always, like, an incredibly snarky and dramatic personality, but, like, a Duskharbour scene's still a Duskharbour scene, and that has value. Like, they were scenes that Runethay did work in. So, like, that can be fine, too. But I think also trying to not pressure him into being, like, a conversational equal of Kalarian will help a lot. Like, and honestly, thinking of the idea that, like, Runethe truly is the comfort character, I think about when I perceived, like, the group we were hanging out with for Runethe to be a favorite. Like, what I remember people going, Runa, over was him being adorable. But I also, like, really remember that being Ellie? I don't know. I guess I had the perception that you really liked Runethe, but I don't remember, like, what you really liked about him in specific. Or if your preferences are still the same. But I'm taking feedback, as you certainly have received a lot of parentheses positive and parentheses feedback about Valarian from me, so yeah. Anyway. People who are not me or Songvale who are popping in right now are like, what are we talking about? We are talking about a roleplay character cast that has been in use since early 2019 and before, in Songvale's case, that we have written thousands of pages about, and we are currently cataloging and of course just continuing to play with. So that's what we're discussing. But I suppose we could find another topic. This is midnight early release. I can't believe that's not... I can't believe that, like, neither early release nor official release is, like, on the calendar. That's crazy. Okay. Songville says, I don't not have thoughts, but I feel like unpreserved and kind of delayed Twitch chat is a bad place to discuss it. Okay. Well, please feel free to put it in, our elf Discord area. I just saw somebody who was only using one of the shoulder cape things and then the back cape, and it really did look like a cape just thrown over one shoulder. That was kind of cool.
I need to target something first.
DPS is strong in this group this morning. I'm so annoyed, like, no matter what I do, my key bindings always do this, where one displays the mouse and the other one displays the number. And yes, I have gone in to make sure that, like, the primary keybinds are both the mouse or the primary keybinds are both the number. But for whatever reason, it usually does this too. It flips the 9 to the mouse one and keeps the 0. Or flips the mouse to 0 and keeps the mouse. It looks really good. Oh, and he's a Drakthir. That's a cool way to do that. That's a nice looking Drakthir. I like it. Good job. I feel like the only Drakthir I've ever been able to make that I'm like, wow, I love how this looks for me is Kyron Esti. But I see other people with really cool Drakthir all the time. And I just can't figure out how to, like, get any of them to look good.
Glory to the Sindori.
That's not where I wanted these to go. Come on out.
Remember the sun well.
Sango says that is how she feels about Nightborn. Yes, Nightborn also have that problem. Everybody else's Nightborn look great, but she has exactly one Nightborn customization mod combo that looks okay. Fair enough. I swear... Oh, I moved Twitch chat. I was like, I swear this was spaced better. No. His, in fact, is just different. Okay. Ah! He doesn't have the add-on on that automatically flips the stuff for me. Nor any of this other delightful assistance things. Well, that would be why. Now it should automatically update to, my oh! Oh no! WoW crashed. That hasn't happened for a while. I don't even get an error message. It's just gone. No! Says Songvale. It's okay. We'll go back in. We'll go back in. I wonder why it rebellioned, because none of the add-ons I turned on are add-ons that weren't on all of the characters so far. Alright, we are back. Woohoo! Do 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 do. Someday I'll clean out my inventory, but I guess today's not that day. This is a character with a great mog. I tried to change, like, his cloak, and I had to change it back. Like, I don't think this character will ever look any different, because this is greatness. Admittedly, since we are just waiting here, I guess I could clear it out right now. Fragment of Dread, we gotta keep that in the inventory. Just in case we ever start feeling okay. Alright, this is looking a lot better now. The Cruel Hand of Timmy. Do 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 do. What the heck? Let's keep Nightcrawlers. I feel like this character could literally just be a fishing alt, and that would be appropriate.
Off and away.
We have defeated the Void Bugaboos and been rewarded with a Q. Huzzah! Huzzah! What emotion are you expressing with your wugs today, Sangreal? Or what experience? I will see. Okay. It's gonna be stress when your friend wants to talk about the roleplay. No, you know what? It's gonna be excitement when your friend wants to talk about the roleplay. What am I dying to? I don't think I could see what was on the ground, but it was still killing me.
It is too far away. I need to get closer.
Standing in the stuff where all of you can see me.
It is too far away. I need to get closer.
DPS is not as high in this group, although I would wager, given this character, that my DPS is not as high in this group, so I totally understand. Is the perfume only usable outdoors? Oh, I see. It's like it's good for world questing or whatever. I thought they were like trying to be polite. It can be awful when people are like spraying perfumes and body sprays and stuff inside, which is a big thing at the school. Songville says, for the record, it is not about the roleplay. That makes sense. We're putting the tokens in the bank, so we can collect them.
See you around.
Collect them. I did not get 7 from that run. I had some that I had, like, I've done some runs on characters while the warband bank was down and then couldn't deposit. So some of them are scattered around. Regardless, I think I need like several hundred to get everything I want, and I am just barely at like 110 right now. Do I have any in this character? I don't think I do. Nope.
The dark times
I didn't throw them
will
in this bank,
pass.
did I? Nope. Alright. Yeah, we have 22. We have 125,
Farewell.
so. And each of these runs after the first one gets me like 3. I think there is like a quest chain that gives like 40 that you can do once per alt, like it's not warbound or like warband bound. So that's probably what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to dedicate some time to just doing that quest chain over and over and over. Someone said it was like a 15-minute quest chain. I probably will take longer the first time just to like actually read read the quest text, but then I'll try to speed run it. I realize that this is just a bug and they're talking to a blood knight that entered the city, but I like to think that they had that to say about Novarth Sunbound. That his power strengthens them all, and even the light is no match for the indomitable will of our people. Which, Sunbound's pretty traditionalist. I am sure there are elements of light worship that one could say have impacted him. For instance, I think he's a lot less vengeful and way more compassionate. But he thinks he's very traditionalist. I guess I'm thinking about the map for Midnight. Spoilers for Midnight coming. I'm not going to show it. I'm just going to talk about it. For the most part, it's just weird that Farstrider Square is gone. And there's like a new area over here. And also it just seems odd that like Court of the Sun and Sunfear Spire are renamed or somewhere different. But fair enough that they just like rebuilt all of this out differently. Like, that's okay. But I think I also just thought that, like, the Dead Scar was a lot bigger, and maybe it actually is. That, like, there's just a whole side of the city that's gone. I guess over in Falconwing Square, that area does have grass, but the buildings are all broken. Songville says, this sounds like a topic I wanted to hear, but the vet called her. Was everything okay with the vet? I hope so. Just confirming your appointment for today, I assume. I was just talking about the map, and what I can remember of the Midnight one, and how, like, I guess this is pretty consistent. Murder Row moves a little bit, except for the fact that, like, this feels like it just gets deleted. And that seems very odd to me. And also that in my head, I think I just picture, like, this all being just completely destroyed and, like, the pall, like the Dead Scar. Because I don't really conceptualize that, like, Falconwing Square is the other side of the city. But it can work. Basically what I'm trying to say is, like, I have some change messes with my head that I don't like happening, but as I look at this map, I'm like, okay, they didn't alter it that much. Yes, it is. See? This is Falconwing Square. Songville says, it bugs me that they completely got rid of Farstrider Square and moved Falconwing Square over. If they were made into different things, that would be fine. It's just bizarre that the architecture is just gone or in a totally different place. The other side of the city is not Falconwing Square. Falconwing Square is through the tiny lighter bit in the lower right corner with the Flight Master. The rest of it has other subzone. Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes. But I mean, like, that questing area. Like, this green questing area is not what I picture for the western half of Silvermoon City. I've been picturing the western half of Silvermoon City as being, like, the Dead Scar. And it's way, like, this whole area is just the Dead Scar in my head. But yeah, I think that's what you were saying, it's with the architecture just moving. That's why, like, Murder Row is kind of adjusted, but, like, maybe I'll get over it. But these things being deleted or heavily reworked is strange to me. But I'm hoping I'll get used to it. What are the odds in the great DPS experience Bible that if I stand up to go to the bathroom, this queue will pop. I need to go to the bathroom, but it thinks the queue is gonna pop. Songville says she kind of wants to overlay the TBC map on the Midnight map to see if she's right about the ways in which it's different. Please do, and then share it with me. Also, thank you very much for finding a way to abbreviate Midnight that's not just Minnesota to me. I love the idea of overlaying the Silver Moon City map on a map of Minnesota and just seeing if they're different. I would say they probably are pretty different. But I could be wrong. That one is so cute. Oh, it's my well, I can't tell if it's you trying to cheer me up or me trying to cheer you up. Or possibly me just keeping you awake when you are ready to go to bed. I love the ones. This one is great. I love how expressive the faces are. Oh, that's super cute. I love it, friend. Songville says it's a very versatile set of wugs that can represent a variety of situations. I'm glad that she's glad that I like it. I love it. I think it's very, very cute. And this is like, I'm not big into like fake reactions. This is not a streamer reaction. I genuinely super love it. It's so cute. I'm looking at it in my heart while I have to focus on pretending to be adequate DPS. How do you think it's going so far? All right. Songville said, after I had said it's about being tired when your friend wants to talk about the RP, I was worried it would feel bad. No, it's adorable and completely completely real. Like, initially my interpretation was you trying to cheer me up with the bell in sort of an ironic twist on that. But now that I look at it, I mean, I think most of the time I'm probably the wug with the bell and you are the wug who does not really want to engage with the bell right now. Oh. Alright, I'm gonna put the next DPS in the queue, and then I'm gonna stand up for a short bathroom break, and we will come back together afterwards. Oh, wait. We should probably put those in the warband bank before I forget. Pause in the plan to go to the bathroom. Gotta go to the bank first. Hydration alert. We will also have some water. Working our way through that glass. I think Twitch changed something because it used to, so I have the stream open like as my stream page and then also my stream manager, so that I'm able to like make sure that everything is working correctly. Did you realize that this was named Periel?
Anubalore Delana.
I honestly think that was his hair color and hairstyle too. I feel like maybe I knew this in the past, but I didn't now. I wonder if he just works for the bank now. He's given up his adventures. Please take your medicine, which you said that you have not yet done. What was I saying? Before I got distracted. water. Oh, Twitch streaming things. And I notice it's not counting those as views anymore.
Glory
So
to
now
the
it
Sindorai.
accurately logs that just you and I are here instead of that there's like 3 or 4 people here. Oh well. Where are my tokens? Oh, I have to open this to get the tokens. Okay. Ooh, 5. That was a good one.
Maladash Malanore.
Amazing that
Time
Novarith
is of the
was the
essence.
lucky one at the affection holiday. Songville says that when she told Perry about it, who is an old friend of ours, Perry was mad and apparently had tried to make sure that there was not an NPC with that name. Dusk Harbor will make it happen. Yep. Dusk Harbor and Aetheldir from, I was gonna say the other side of the room from each other, but honestly, like separate buildings. They're working on it. Alright, we'll put the next DPS in the queue, and then we will take a short bathroom break. He does have some tokens. That is good. Alright. We are gonna step to the restroom. I will be right back. Get back in time. Everything is okay. And I'm here taking that cue. Ooh, Centauri. That's a cool name. Welcome back. I have some good news and some bad news. Probably. I don't know. Maybe the second one's neutral news. She is, yeah. But you might be thinking of Centauri. Like, I remember that there was a person who had this guild premise where it was blood elves, and they were definitely still doing, like, fantasy, but it was very, like, the science fantasy of Burning Crusade. And it was, like, blood elves who were building a spaceship. And that was the RP guild. Centauri's a paladin. Centauri is a hunter. The group mate is a hunter. Okay. Ooh. Pyronesti is also lucky. If you ever wanted to do, like, happy diplomatic exchange roleplay, also, Pyronesti exists. And he's very friendly. Oh, you've seen both of them. Oh, okay. That's cool. Sungo says she used to get Centauri and Centauri mixed up.
Greetings. Safe travels.
Pyronesti can be the new Lusarius who's there to hug people. That's true. They could try that where he's staying with different noble houses. For some reason. Which of your characters that owns a noble house secretly longs to be hugged by a dragon person? And who doesn't feel like, well, I have Runethe, and that's being hugged by a dragon person is just budget Runethe. Runethe glows slightly, but also seems embarrassed that being hugged by an ancient dragon person is just budget him. Do I have any tokens on this character? No, I haven't been running it on her yet. Dust Carper would find that novel, yeah. I feel like at least Novarith has like a history of like being interested in hosting diplomatic exchange people, but he's not going to be huggy. I just watched somebody named Fellspawns spawn in. Sango says, yeah, Novarith does not want to be hugged by a dragon person. Yes, he has 2 people to hug, and should hug a third one once they reconnect. I also read, like, in newspaper that, like, Novarith was looking into buying hawks so that he could do falconry again with Varen, but that was years ago. But I guess also, like, he was looking into it, and then certainly a lot of stuff happened with Dust Harbor, so maybe he just never completed that goal. This is one of the reasons why he and Temerive will never be close. I assume the not wanting to be touched or hugged by Novarith is why he can't befriend Temerive. Longville says he was looking into it, and then Dust Harbor's first feeding request happened right before assembly. Oh, yeah. Well, I wonder... Again, I just realized that I don't have any talents, so I am not really contributing very much here. Oh, I'm standing in the stuff. Brain farting. Maybe that contributes also to the fact that Baron is alone and getting pretty bitter. Not that he, you know, thinks we shouldn't have saved Dusk Harbor if Dusk Harbor's a good person, but also... I am now 71. Convenient. I'm getting a lot of this forever lovely rose business. Is this an upgrade? Yes, it is. Wow, Heart of Azeroth. Okay. I realized that, like, we're starting to engage again with the active storyline of World of Warcraft with Midnight, because that seems to be the direction we're going. But I also wanted to put it out there that if you can find the context between reading the before and after, and just certain, like, eras of characters are like, oh, that was really good, I missed that. I would be fine with occasionally doing role plays that are, like, back set. I guess they could be described as, like, fluff, but they're, like, characterizing fluff, you know? Where it's like, well, it didn't advance the plot, but, like, it deepened my understanding of the character, or, like, contextualized their feelings, or I just got to enjoy them again in that incarnation doing nothing, or whatever. But I'm kind of interested in that for some of the eras in which characters, like, we had a lot of characters, and there was a lot going on, and so some things kind of got skipped, or got lean. That might be something that we could consider at some point. All of a sudden, I am really freaking cold, even though I have the heat pad on my back. Like, it's just, I don't know if a draft just blew through my apartment or what. Oof. Did I put them in the bank? I managed her inventory. Also, I don't know why Riverglade works with this model to not be a jerk. But everyone else always turns into a jerk. Maybe it's the flower crown. But something about her just seems, like, cute and fun. Songwell says, I will think on this, but I have historically struggled to put myself back with the previous iteration of a character. Yeah, I think it would be hard. It just was, I think I was feeling nostalgic, and I was like, oh, I missed this dynamic, or, like, I know now we're gonna start getting into an era, for sure, where there was just so much going on all the time that things didn't get played, which is also why we invented, No, I did put it in the bank. I did. Okay. We invented, like, newspaper to try and, like, supplement that a little bit. But yeah. Or just in the vein of, like, if you ever need something to write about, feel free to write me short stories.
Keep it real.
Songwheel says, it probably also helps that Riverglade originates as a fundamentally young and eager, whereas I feel like the others have started out with a potentially edgy archetype to start from. Yes, that's probably the case too. Admittedly, Listali also is wholesome, but I would say she still is, like, reserved. Like, I feel like the Blood Elf female model for me is either, like, snarky and rude, or very reserved. I'm gonna stand up for just a second. I'll be right back. suddenly felt like there was like a fogginess in the room. So I had to go stand and look at it from a couple different directions, make sure the stove wasn't on. It doesn't smell like anything. I think it is just the lighting is strange in here at the moment. But yeah, like, the Blood Elf female model either puts me in the mind of, like, somebody who's, like, vicious, or somebody who's very reserved. And, like, well put together and controlled. And I occasionally think about doing more of the latter, but then I just feel like I'm just gonna, like, basically bring Arunai or Aelwyn. But I also feel like I could explain that too now as just being I'm gonna bring another Renestra, or I'm gonna bring Listali, but combat. But yeah, maybe you're right, it is the flower crown. The secret is just I have to immediately dress them in a cute manner. Ghastly, I remember, because I can queue him as tank. He also has been one of the ones where if I do runs, but I don't do very many, I do him because of the faster queue time. I think it is interesting how much things can change over the years, which I think this is not like a terribly original take, but it's one that I didn't experience because, look, the reality is what I liked at 11, I like now. I didn't outgrow stuff. I'm still playing World of Warcraft. I'm still playing Pokemon, etc. But it's weird when I can notice that preferences have changed for me. Particularly not just when, like, a new thing was added, but, like, when something is taken away. Because I do add new interests. But it was really weird to realize that this aggressive, snarky, arrogant rogue character I had named Stell, like, wasn't fun anymore. I was so excited to bring her back, and then I actually did not like playing her. I was just like, she's mean. And dumb. Like, she's not as smart as she thinks she is. It was very odd. Oh, I'm dying. Not sure why. They're not healing happening. I do miss that I can't aim my, brew barrels. I remember thinking that was a fun mechanic on these. I'm really not sure what the issue is. I guess my gear is really bad? Although I feel like I've had aggro the whole time. Oh boy. I feel like I've had aggro the whole time. Who knows? People might have just been standing and stuff, to be honest. Songville says, maybe we've gone back to the constant death era of the Brewmaster Monk, the era in which I died a little inside every time the Q gave me a Brewmaster tank. The era in which I received by far the most abusive whispers while playing healer. I'm sorry, friend. My friend does not deserve this. Also, it probably would help if I... Oh no, I do have talents. I don't know. I'm not sure what the issue was there. It might be a gear issue. Oh yeah, it probably is a gear issue because I'm 51 and I'm wearing stuff somehow that is 16. I feel like with every squish, they make the lower stuff, like, even worse. So with every squish, I become less and less powerful. What am I doing? I want to put those in the bank, so I should go back in the bank. Songo says it happened because
up?
Brewmaster was bad, but that was her fault. Yeah, Kel, why did you work at Blizzard and make it bad?
See you around, friend.
It says Novarth still has 4. So I guess let's go make sure that Novarth put his in the bank. I think Shadari may also have some. But let's check on Novarth putting him in the bank first. What time are you getting out of the house today? Does he actually have 4? No, I remember putting these in. I think it's just wrong. Yeah, I think it's just wrong. But we'll still double check. Maybe in the bank? I accidentally put them in the bank instead of in... Oh, I did. Yep. They gotta go in the Warband bank. Great. We have 145.
Stay the course.
Do you have any? Not in your inventory.
May the light embrace you.
And not in your bank. Alright.
Dionisaka.
Well, let's see. What shall we do now? I suppose I could go pick my first round of stuff that I really, really want off the vendor. Start there. Sungo says the druid I leveled is the highest of any druid I've tried to play. Stopped getting played because she had 3 Strathholm dungeons in a row in which one, a brewmaster tank zoned in, died 3 times in 5 minutes, and then left. Yeah. Especially now that, like, there's no healing touch for druid healing, like, if that goes to hell, I don't know how to save it. I really don't. Two, a brewmaster tank zoned in wearing only the starter gear and said he didn't have enough gold. Didn't have enough gold to buy better gear, apparently not knowing what gear drops or quest rewards were. A brewmaster tank zoned in, barreled through half the dungeon on auto run and pulled everything in his path, then whispered me slurs after getting kicked because how dare I personally kick him from the group all by myself. Yikes. Well,
Light bless you.
I will tank for you, friend, and I will not whisper you mean things. I will only take good care of my friend. That does sound like a bad string of Strathholms, yeah. I just realized I don't think I changed any of my tags. I didn't. So, like, I don't have any tag for retail. I don't have any tag for role player. Nothing. Songville says she only ever wants to heal when I am the tank anymore because of the Brewmaster tank specifically. They gave her trauma. Well, I will gladly tank for you. Although, I guess sometimes maybe we will have bad DPS queues when I want to play Entrin now. I like Entrin. I keep being confused that I'm Alliance. I also feel like the fact that he's purple is important. And I don't think that's an option for Blood Elves. But occasionally I'm like, maybe I should have re-rolled him as a Sindori. Longwell says that she thinks she needs to leave by 3 today, which means she needs to get to animals about 2 or 2:15. Okay.
How may I aid?
I'm remembering right now, but I feel like I keep doing that thing where you remember and then forget and remember and forget.
Hail. Be careful.
If you think of it, when I'm logging out, remind me to pack all of the stuff that I'm
Go.
supposed to bring to work so that I can deliver it to you at Underwood tonight.
Yeah, what do you want?
Yes.
It's getting us 5 more.
Family.
Me got the good stuff, man.
Alright.
Well met.
Got us 5
Greetings,
more
traveler.
tokens.
Choose wisely.
Do you think Dusk Harbor cares about the Lunar Festival? Or is he like, no, it's not the moon theme that I love, it's a loon, and that's about elders, of which I just am one. So this holiday is just weird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I can get everything besides this right now of the new stuff. I do want the boat, which is 270. But I think I care about my magical girl transmog more. You know, that's rude to not even let Runethe hold the bow, okay? You gotta let him hold it. Alright, good. Songville says, yes. She first says that the fluffy cat raptor is very cute. I agree. I feel like I want to farm those appearances out. She says, I assume in response to my Lunar Festival question, yes. She assumes the Caldari version of the Lunar Festival is supposed to have something Elune related to do with it. I guess it could be the case that it's like the spirits are with Elune. Like Elune is the one who brings them back as something akin to a person, again, that you could talk to. Like their version of the Elder Songvale says, like their version of the Elder stuff for the Moon Festival probably has to do with Wisp being sustained by, joined with the energies of Elune. Perfect! Exactly what I said. Yes. This pet is terrifying. Part of me wants it, but I don't know why. I feel like I should want to banish it. I think I just feel like I have to be completionist, but actually its face is terrifying. Oh no. Oh no. My Tamagotchi wants to make a photo album. This is not good. You know what this means, friend? The photo album is what they make before they ask to leave. My Tamagotchi. It's been difficult with this particular one. Um... I am now distracted, attending to my Tama. Apparently, this has taken several photos of just darkness in my bag by accident. Manoon. Maybe so. I do feel kind of bad that she appears to have gone to the bathroom and I missed it. He's leaving, friend. I didn't get an option to decline. He has gone. At the same time, this is somewhat less difficult than her dying. I apologize for those listening to the stream right now. It's very paused. It's because I'm watching a new, essentially, cutscene on my Tamagotchi. I've gotten a new egg, and it occurs to me that this was not a good time for this to happen. Because... this just is not a convenient time for me to be trying to take care of a Tamagotchi for an hour right now. Because the babies are very, very needy. Okay. Well, I'm back to what I am doing. Maybe we should do Moon Festival RP with Dust Carver. So let's see, what do I want most? Do I want this sword, or do I want these pieces? I like the pieces a lot. The sword is very cool. Do I need the pole arm? That's nice. I don't absolutely. I do like this bow, which for some reason sometimes Runethe doesn't get to hold. It's very mean. And mace. I think if I have to choose, I want the sword, the bow, and the ensemble, which I don't have enough for today. But all right, I am paused once again. We'll go longer than 11:30 because I am, you know, unable to play actively right now as I have to take care of a baby Tamagotchi. Alright, I am back. Do you think holding the bow would be good for him? Is that what I was saying? I could see Riverglade using these too, you know? Oh, doing Dustcover Lunar Festival roleplay. Yes. And it sounds cool and immersive. We will grab the ensemble and the bow to start.
We will have justice.
And continue farming for things. Oh, it's gonna do that thing where it doesn't let me collect them again. It's just gonna ask me over and over if I'm sure. I am. Please use. Use ensemble ornaments of the spring butterfly. That did not work. Okay, well, they're in my inventory. I'll hold on to them, and I guess I can collect them a little bit later. Songwell says, although I have long headcanon that there are forms of lunar-aligned festivals that happen in Dustcarver among the populace, so maybe they do a version of the Ancestor Lunar Festival. That makes sense. I am wondering if you feel like there's been any change on what you thought about how secret he was about that, given that there seems to be a lot of lunar interest among the people in Dustcarver right now, although I feel like maybe that came with Lanai's crew coming back, and they had kind of followed her into it while they were part of her ship crew. Because, like, Lendrasil, who was from Dustcarver, is like, he has a moon room? What? So yeah, I was just wondering if you had any thoughts or any changed opinions on, like, how prevalent awareness of moon reverence people were in Dustcarver. I feel like if I want to start role-playing in Midnight, I'm gonna end up changing Runethe's currently to, or from what it's been for 6 years at this point, of not in the Shadowlands Icily. Songwhale says, the overt moon interest comes from Lanai's crew, who found out about her moon stuff while on the ship. The wheels are greased on Dustcarver people accepting the moon thing because a lot of their cultural festivals have retained lunar timing, even though nobody thought of them as being about the moon. Like, it remained normal for certain things to happen based on what the phase the moon was in, even though the moon was not being worshipped. That makes sense. And probably made it easier, certainly for Dustcarver also in some ways. I read a roleplay a couple days ago where he was talking to Phalaris and asking if Phalaris himself, or if Phalaris knew anyone else in the household really wanted him to officiate summer solstice ritual, and was honest about the fact that the summer solstice doesn't really do anything for him as Dustcar, like, as Lethrun does, but he's happy to do that as part of his just Lyria role for them if anybody else wanted Height of the Sun ritual. I'm looking at Runethe's hair color, and even, like, his skin here is, like, basically the correct color. And I don't understand how this hair color works. Like, it doesn't seem horribly garish, at least to me, looking at it like this. But, like, if I've ever tried to do art or whatever, just his hair and his skin together look terrible. But also if I try to, like, really vividly picture... It's weird because I feel like I have a really strong experience of what it feels like to be Runethe. But when I try to really picture exactly what he looks like, especially with, like, the hair color is the most egregious part of this, I can't see it. It's very weird. Songville says that she is unable to picture Runethe with anything but really dark brown hair. Can't do it. Okay. Well, I could try it again. I guess it could be brown hair with, like, a reddish undertone, too. Missed Dusk Harbor Sanctum of the Moon message. Well, I'll go back up for that. Dusk Harbor also financially supported the nearby Sanctum of the Moon, which is a real in-game location that I headcanon belonged to a Thalassian religious community that did more or less the normal way of the sun archetype religion, but with a focus on moon-oriented symbolism and philosophy. I think that was discussed one time, possibly with Novarith, and was part of, like, a misunderstanding discussion that, like, Novarith thought he was saying that he basically, like, specifically was part of just a moon archetype cult, where it was still the way of the sun, but, they only cared about the moon. And then he was confused about that because that's, like, just one archetype for a diverse set of roles and people, and that confused him as to how that could, like, work. Oh, did I ever tell you my good news, bad news thing from the restroom break? You know, I put all this effort into going to Silvermoon, and now I'm gonna go reconsider Novarith. I almost said Eledris, and then I almost said Novarith. And it was Runethe. His hair color. I feel like when I think Ranger with dark-colored hair, at this point I just immediately think Ailuin. Runethe looks like Ailuin. Why are you now afraid? If I don't like it, I'm just gonna leave it like this. And you can just nebulously not have a described hair color. Wow, Runethe looks super old without his mask because all of this becomes wrinkles. That's funny. How do I feel about in between? I don't know. I don't know. It does still have a kind of red undertone. Six matches. Yeah, and that's what I'm kind of trying to decide, like, is it 5? Maybe we'll try 5 and I'll see how I feel about it. I could live with that. Maybe that's it. We'll try this. He also could have like a hair texture or color that just changes like a lot depending on how recently he has washed it or brushed it as well. This works, actually. I like it. This is good. Where it's like it very easy, or like in the lighting, it can really catch light and become a lot lighter. Or like in the dark, I don't know, it could be very, what would that be, like translucent, sort of? Where it's like it is quite dark, but it's also quite translucent. So like in bright light, it really changes color. I feel good about that. Good change. What is this stream? It is not watchable for anybody but us, but that's okay. I am game to keep going for like beyond 11:30 because I just like paused and played Tamagotchi, and that's gonna keep happening because for the next 50 minutes it's going to be super, super needy until it becomes a child. Where it will still be needy, but not nearly as needy as an infant. What would you like me to do? Actually, you know what I want to do? I want to go see if there is a Blood Elf customization that happens to have purple skin for some reason. In the same way that you can make High Elves out of Void Elves, can you make Void Elves out of Blood Elves? And then I'll just use I could use my boost to make a second entrant. But I think the answer's no. Nope. No purpleness. The purple is very important. Which one do you feel is purpley? I guess it depends on your definition of purple. Fascinating. I mean, I guess maybe with the right stuff, this could read purple. Does this have a cool undertone to you? Purple. I feel like I can tell that it's cold, but it doesn't make it more purple. And they have purple hair. Not really. This is not going well as a plan. Try the scales again. They can have a gently lavender air. This one is terrifying to me. Like, they have, like, gaping fell wounds. That seems really bad. There is a little bit of a purple to this. I don't feel like he has scales, but I feel like I'm trying to remember which ones he has. I think it's this one. swirlies on the arms. Maybe he discovers yoga. I'm not quite sure how yoga would help him have different skin. Gently lavender hair. He relaxes so his hair gets lighter? I'm confused, I'm sorry. I mean, I guess he can just be... I just always make sure he's more clothed. Like, more of as much skin as possible is covered up. Which he might need to do if he tried to walk around Silvermoon anyway, although I feel like, you know, other demon hunters certainly would be like, you are a void creature. Also, I imagine the Magistrate is probably going to have a lot of anti-void detection going on. This is kind of... It's cold, but it's not lavendery. I'm not sure. Well, apparently he's going to be allowed in the part of Silver... So, like, part of Silvermoon is going to be for everybody, and then part's going to be Horde only. Do you think, canonically, Quel'Thalas is going to be like, everybody can come and help us except the Void Elves? Or do you think they're going to, like, let them in? You gotta sit out midnight and think about what you did. This is probably partially your fault. Songwell says they're gonna let Void Elves in because of mechanics reasons, and then we'll all be friends at the end, and Romath will apologize for overreacting and hurting Umbric's feelings, and then she'll rage quit. Fair enough, we don't have to honor that part of canon. I don't feel like this feels like Entrin at all, so I don't know what my plan is. I'm just gonna have this Alliance character that doesn't connect to anything else, I guess. I tried to back out, and the game absolutely rioted there. I guess gray would be okay. Oh, he has black hair. Okay, gray skin, black hair. I can't remember what I'm doing. Okay, gray skin, black hair. Comma break. Songwell says if only demon hunters could use the dark fallen skin. Yeah, that one would be perfect. It would indeed be perfect. There just really isn't a good option here. I keep going through them like I'm suddenly gonna find one and be like, oh, that's right. But I don't think it's happening, everybody. Oh, and this is the one with the fell wounds. Yay. What? What is this? Oh, the spikes are on the skin. I was like, what are the spikes coming from? This won't work because it automatically has spikes. Yeah, I don't like the face spikes, so we're gonna not do that one. So that's annoying. Do they all have face spikes? I don't remember them having face spikes. Does Runethe have face spikes? I mean, not canonically. Anyway, this clearly isn't working. It's not going to be a thing. Oh, they're a face option. Okay. Because they were... Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Great. Well... I feel like the fell cracking out of him isn't great, but it's got a cold grayness to it. Do I just commit to this being his last name? I don't even know. Do I think maybe I just play entrant? Decisions. It's gonna be hard playing entrant and being confused about why I'm Alliance. But admittedly, like, I don't know. I think I'm afraid of the disconnect from everything, you know? Like... But I could branch out into Void Elves. You could deal with your Void Elf trauma. We could have Quilarian and Entrin do stuff. Oh, this is the part of the music I loved. Like, I feel this profound sense of peace and being home at last to this song. Excuse me. Ugh. Well, I have maybe 15 more minutes. What should we do, Songville? Thank you. We could discover that I have no idea how to heal, and then get a group to wipe on the holiday boss with this character. I could write it on RP post. I don't know. I'm not sure why he doesn't move or breathe. This was happening with, Brewworth for a while. I guess we should probably log in to make sure that K-Tier's alive. Wellness check on K-Tier. Interestingly, he almost misspeaks and says not K-Tier. When speaking to, like, Query or something the first time. But that also could have just been, like, his most recent alias that he was gonna say. He says a name that starts with Faye, F-A-E. My brain's like, his name is Faerun. I do think we need to do K-Tier the service of having him not be an Ogremar. I think the thing I'm thinking about, like, right now, like, would people worry that they were being insulting by giving K-Tier, like, nice, beautiful, but sometimes silly things, such as an alpaca to ride? And I feel like there'd be a level of, like, comfort of, like, no, I'm confident that I know this person, and that is indeed just who he is, and knowing that he will be delighted with a bouncy alpaca. It's fun, like he is.
I'm out of range.
I am also up for wrapping stream and going to try to take a look at my roleplay post if that's where you're at. I'm enjoying kind of hanging out in WoW, but I don't know what else to do for 15 minutes. I never really did that much roleplay in this area except for when we were running Songbird Eatery. And I just feel like him sitting next to this water feature seems nice today. Sungo says she is both eager for our P-post and does not want stream to end, but moving K-Tier to somewhere better was important. I agree, and also making sure that he's, like, alive. Is he breathing right now? Yes, very subtly. That's good. Well, I guess I could leave this up and we can be chatting while I type up an RP post here. I'm gonna go to the bathroom though, because I never told you good news, bad news from the bathroom last time. The good news was I finished both the half a glass of water I had next to me and the half a glass of water that was by my bed when I stood up. So I was very hydrated. And then I even refilled my drink, but here's where the bad news came in. I refilled it with Coca-Cola. I'm going to the bathroom. I'll be back. On this computer, I believe, just out of deference to her cooling needs, I do have it on low frame rate when it is not my primary. Oh, cool. You know one of those bugs that I think looks like dragons, but you said bites? There's one on my laptop right now. They look so cool, but I just don't want to get bitten. Oh, it's left. It's on the wall now. That's the coolest looking bug to me. Love it. Well, yeah, I guess you could describe it like that. But it has kind of like, instead of that big, like, bulbous last section of its body, it's long and thin, and then has like a really long, thin tail sticking out of the back of that even. It's not a termite, is it? Do I need to kill it? I don't want to kill it because I like it. Google. Anyway, what I was going to say is if you notice that the frame rate has suddenly gotten very low, it is at a deference for my poor laptop's cooling. I don't think it's a termite. When I Google termite, this is not what I'm looking at. It has disappeared. I do not know where it went now, but they are cool looking bugs. Anyway, if you notice the frame rate is low while I have my focus on a different screen, don't worry about it. Stream's okay. The issue is just, that I have my focus on, my laptop's focus on a different window. So, that's what's going on. I love this wug so much, friend. Also, I love that Rebel, like, puts the paper texture at the edge of the image. I'm sorry that the wug on the ground is angry. Or annoyed. I hope the wug on the ground is just having a bad mood and then the other wug is trying to help and is not, in fact, the source of the annoyance. The wug on the ground is at least distracted from whatever was originally a problem by the introduction of a new problem. That's so sad. I have posted for you. I'm so glad that I'm looking forward to something with World of Warcraft again. But also it's weird how much the last couple of expansions... I feel like Shadowlands was the last time I was like, wow, there's a world-changing thing and we're gonna go somewhere. But, like, I guess BFA didn't have that either. Like, and Legion. Maybe it's been like this for a while. It's just weird that I feel like it's gonna be another day in the game. More so than, like, oh my god, this new thing is so incredible. But I guess it's probably the case that it's like, I don't need you to add more content for me to feel like there's something I've never done before that I could make progress on doing. K-Tier's hat is iconic. I honestly think that the feathers here are too flat. I feel like his feather tends to be white, and it's got kind of more of that down thing going on too. Where it's like, it's not so flat. It's pretty big. I honestly, this will just be a shame to hear, I'm sure. I honestly kind of forgot about his big feathered hat. You can say no if you want, but I really want Novarth. I really want Dusk Harbor to have, like, in some way tried to make sure that, like, he continues to appreciate or have that, like, original squatting in group together. Even though, like, Radaris and Caius might be like, this is not really a good sense of decorum because of things like K-Tier being so K-Tier, where it's like, well, that's not really fine around the other servants or whatever, and Duskcover's like, it doesn't matter. We're gonna keep him. Songbell says, every time I ride one of those peacock mounts with a huge head plume, I think of K-Tier. That's true. Does he have a flying mount? He doesn't. Maybe we should pick out a peacock for him. I mean, you should be writing in a roleplay post. Oh, peacock is not what any of them are called. I think they must all just be, like, they have different names. I'll find some, and then we'll consider. Peafowl. It'd be on the Sunburst Peafowl. Honestly, it feels like he could be on a flying carpet also. Songo says, try Source's trading post if they have such a filter. Oh, they do, yeah. I feel like I also want to grab, like, the anniversary one and stuff, though, too. So I'll just scroll through and find it. And then my silence will give you the space to write a roleplay post so that Dusk Harbor and you can continue enjoying the fact that, like, Novarth is experiencing a surprisingly youthful, almost glee. Butterfly also feels like it could be him. There is a Fae-like quality to it. Yeah, I think it, like, the blue one matches, but the orange one feels better. I just think I just like it better. But honestly, K tier on a flying carpet might win. Look, friend, this one has a plush duck. Ducko. I also like this because it's absurd. It does, but again, like, this one matches really, really well. But I kind of like this one. I think the issue is his outfit seems very peaceful and tranquil. And I like the, like, splash of color and life from these other ones. I wonder if there's a joke in the office about, like, needing to make them dangerous. Because they're too pretty and cute otherwise. You know, these beautiful, like, butterflies, maybe Kalarian and Varen could team up. And give one of my characters a butterfly to ride. The only one that even, like, kind of comes to mind for this is Vercia, and I already like her on her not in-character bunny, though, so I'm not sure where that would go. Yeah, build a mechanical one. Not this. Tamagotchi is pooping so much. The baby poops so much. The Tamagotchi poops so much, the baby poops so much. I actually really like K-tier on a flying carpet. I feel like the sense that I'm regrowing right now is the desire to just be on a character that I like. I think what is tough is that I can't figure out what to do, and that I like this, I want to do thing energy is very uncomfortable for me if I cannot express it or use it in some way. And I know we talked about, like, maybe that would be a good thing to do art about. And I agree. But I don't know, I'm like compelled to like I love staring at the energy of like K-tier on a magic carpet and it's glowing and like it's great. But also like it's hard to just sit here when I'm just like, ah, this is great. Like I want to like run around in a circle. Which maybe is the original version of running around in circles in Dalaran. Like we wanted to play WoW, but we didn't know what we wanted to do, but we were just excited to be here. Sungil says true. I do have to keep an eye on the time here. I am not due into work for another hour, but I do need to have half an hour to go to work. I'm happy to hang out here with you for another 15 or so minutes. I think the main thing is, like, I need to put on a vest and my shoes, and make sure that I bring my controller pieces and pack up the stuff that I am going to bring to you in Underwood. We'll do 15 minutes. Songville says, used to do that a lot in Dalaran, specifically to the extent that I wonder if it was designed to let people do that. I don't know if it was originally. But I definitely think they're aware of it, and I wouldn't be surprised if that was, like, part of the nostalgia hit for Legion. And maybe also what they were trying to, like, lightning in a bottle recapture the lightning in a bottle with the circular design of Ouroboros. On the other hand, like, I don't remember people used to, like running around in a circle in Shattrath, but admittedly, I feel like there was way more downtime in Wrath, I think because they added queues. And also a number of the grinds were, like, not as brutal, if I recall correctly. I don't know if you saw, but I did roleplay post, or RP post. I don't know why I said roleplay post. So, feel free to, reply to that. Bongo says she is trying to focus on the roleplay post, but having visions of becoming that lady from the Tumblr post who showed up at the vet's office gasped and said, "Oh, I forgot my dog." That would be so awkward. I feel like you enjoy talking to Agatha so much, though, that cannot happen, because you'll just be like, "We're going on an adventure, Agatha. We're gonna go today." I really like K-tier on the flying carpet, actually. Sango says Agatha is going to yell and complain the whole time, too. Silence in the car will be a dead giveaway. It's a lot less convenient than the bag, but if for some reason you think she would like the Wabatat, you certainly could just put her in the Wabatat, too. If you think that will help her not scream so much. But she might just not like the car. I know that you also are going to various places. I assume you probably won't bring her into the post office, but like... I don't know. Rose Hours does have a sign that says, like, no animals that are not service dogs, so I don't know if you really want to try it in Rose Hours, but... That makes sense. Maybe just in the bag the whole time is for the best. The post office also has a sign that says only seeing eye dogs. Or it's like tampographed on the door, but I don't know. I don't know if either of those are enforced, to be honest, especially like if your cat's in a bag. Rosaura's sign says like, you know, they have to be on the ground, etc. But I also think it's probably one of those things where it's like, for the most part, the employees actually don't want to bother you, so if your cat's not causing a problem, they might just not say anything. I do think you are going to have to go to the counter, because at one point I talked to them and mentioned that, like, I don't come over all the time immediately, or I don't check every day. And then they were just like, oh, okay, well, we'll just always keep your stuff behind the counter then and not take up a locker. And I was like, oh, okay. Not quite what I wanted, but... It was indeed cursed. Fascinating. I've signed in, and that caused Seikori to get the achievement for Heroic Akendun. Songbo says achievements become more haunted and confused with each passing year. Indeed they do. Maitama has become a child. I have decided that I am not going to bring to work because it's too difficult to not get damage on the screen. Even when I have them like in a giant sock. Seem like they should be very safe. Not safe. I agree. I hope it is easier to keep him happy. This one is a boy. Woohoo! RP post. Do. Alright. I shall reply, and then, alas, it may be time to say goodbye to stream for today. I only have Coca-Cola, but I will have more for you. Ah. Please take your medicine. Songvale says, please help her remember that ibuprofen at bedtime is the way to go with her back right now. She wakes up in much less pain with much less impression of having started my healing progress over on a daily basis. Okay, I will do that. I have also given you a roleplay post. And now, alas, I will go turn in this quest. But then it shall be time. Shall be time. I re-customized this character back much more in line with what she was before they added all the like cool new customization things. And this character feels a lot better. I still really don't like the way the wad forward Tauren female model like moves. The feet are too narrow, I think. But I'm more interested in her again. If you... Honestly, you know what I just thought about? Another thing that Midnight is offering us? It's where all the stuff is going on. So if, like, all over the world and people are, like, sending forces there to deal with it, so if we want to tie in anybody who's not a blood elf into, like, meeting our characters or ending up spending a bunch of time with our characters or whatever, but it's hard because, like, our characters don't leave Quel'Thalas and, like, how would that person get to Quel'Thalas? We have an instant answer to bring a far more diverse cast of, like, in the conventional sense of diverse, like racially, into Quel'Thalas. Sequari is very kind and competent. She is a good creature. Alright. Well, yeah, I wouldn't mind having Sequari be around. Honest, like, I don't... The character arc I realized she had is that she struggles a lot with, not being very wandery. So in that regard, like, she would get along really well with, like, rangers, but I don't know that she could, for instance, like, continually come back to Lethalion, and in fact, at this point, she's such a world traveler that I don't even know that she could be content just, like, wandering Quel'Thalas, period, or, for that matter, like, wandering all of, like, the ancestral Tauren areas of Kalimdor. Like, I feel like her habitat of enclosure needs to be at least the size of Kalimdor. At a minimum, and I still think she'd be stressed sometimes. But she could be helpful as well. I don't know. I wonder if having a Tauren Huntress would be interesting at Lethalion. At least during the, like, need to bulk out forces because there's void stuff. She might honestly leave again at the end of it. Like, not that she wouldn't come visit, but she could also be a Midnight character if that interests you, of having a Tauren at Lethalion just for something different. But I must go. I have 10 minutes to pull my stuff together and walk to work. Thank you very much for hanging out with me today. And I will see all of you in the future. Tomorrow will be Genshin Impact in the morning. So you are welcome for stream. I will be a safety. Have a good day, and thank you for getting my socks from the post office. I will see you at roughly 6 at Underwood Community Center. Goodbye, folks.